Imagine a place deep beneath the earth where every possible version of your future exists as a physical record. Millions of volumes float through the darkness, each cataloging a different potential life. On a shelf titled Almost, you find the story of a man who spent decades researching, planning, and waiting for a moment of total readiness that never arrived. His book ends with a single sentence: he was always ready to start tomorrow. Beside it sits the record of a woman who stood before a life-altering opportunity while feeling completely unprepared, but moving forward despite the uncertainty. Her book races through new cities, new skills, and friendships that only existed because she chose to act while afraid. These stories suggest that the direction of a life rarely hinges on massive, predestined events. Instead, the momentum builds through the small, courageous decisions that most people ignore. In a section bearing your own name, you find a volume titled The Life Where You Quit. It describes a future defined by safety and comfort, yet shadowed by the persistent emptiness that follows an abandoned dream. Suddenly, a blank book tumbles from a high shelf. No title, no author, and no ink. It represents a future that has not yet been captured. A violent tremor suddenly rocks the library. At the center of the hall, a massive black volume titled The Life Intended forces itself open, its crimson glow threatening to pull every other book into its orbit. It presents a dangerous allure. If a single true destiny exists for you, then every other choice you've ever made was an error, and every other version of you is already dead. As the final page of that intended life turns, the surrounding landscape begins to dissolve. Millions of unwritten futures and cities vanish into the dark, leaving only a single narrow path. Fixating on the one correct route burns away your other options. The complexity of choice becomes a crushing pressure. This singular path becomes a cage, keeping you stationary until you are certain you're stepping onto the perfect timeline. You spend years waiting for absolute readiness, while all the vibrant, messy, imperfect realities you could have inhabited simply wither from neglect. The pursuit of a predestined life is an intellectual trap. It prioritizes the safety of a guaranteed outcome over the actual development of your potential. The author emerges from the collapse, an ancient figure carrying a pen made of pure light, the guardian of every unwritten page in the library. He turns to the final chapter of The Life Intended. You expect to see your purpose written in stone, but the pages are completely devoid of ink. The author shows you the empty paper. There are no instructions here because no one ever drew a map for you to follow. You have been waiting for a command that was never written. Around you, the thousands of other imperfect futures reappear. They are valid. They are available, and they confirm that searching for a pre-written destiny is a waste of the life you actually possess. Human purpose emerges from the act of choosing one of these imperfect paths and making it real through your own effort. Your idealized self begins to dissolve into golden particles. This perfect version of you is drifting away into the wind. He smiles, acknowledging that he is merely one of a million possibilities you could have explored. He was never a goal. He was only a ghost. The greatest possible life exists only within the friction of your next decision. It is the result of the momentum you generate in the physical world. As he vanishes, he leaves you with a final instruction. Stop mourning the people you could have been, and start becoming the person you can still be. Progress requires you to abandon the comfort of an imagined perfect future so you can take concrete action in a messy, uncertain present. The tremors stop. In the quiet of the restored library, the empty shelves offer something far more valuable than a map: the total autonomy to walk in any direction. You take the blank book and the light pen. As you write the first sentence, thousands of volumes across the library glow in response to your initiative. Most people spend their lives paralyzed by the passive question, "Who was I meant to become?" Replace that with the active question that creates the path, "What will I do next?" Your future exists in the ink you are currently putting to the page, a story forged through the weight and power of your own choices.